My poem is called Explaining Depression. Imagine drowning. As you sink, the water slowly wraps its welcoming arms around you until you give in, suffocating. You feel your lungs start to fill up, your chest concaving. You're gasping for air as you keep reaching for something, for someone, but it's never there. And you fight every second trying to swim back up as the world slowly fades away. You feel as if there's nothing left. You feel that even if you could keep fighting, it would be insignificant. You feel as if giving up is the best option. Then you realize that you cannot drown because you will never completely forget how to swim, no matter how many times you get pulled and pushed under and want to give up and drown. You will come up to breathe, wondering why you were in the water in the first place. Or you can imagine floating in the middle of the ocean, no one to talk to, nothing that really matters that we're floating by. No energy left in your body, all you know is this water. You are lost in this ocean with nowhere to go, feeling insignificant and forgotten, swimming in a loop, unproductively, never finding the shore. The shore is all you want at this point. Life seems meaningless when you can't find the shore. You feel as if sleeping pills and food will take you there, or you sleep to forget that you can't find it. And when you do find the shore, you somehow make it back to the water.
Memories are odd creatures. They play out in your head like a scene from a movie, or they come in fragments like a shattered mirror. The forest, hands, the moon, fear and confusion. They say that 1 in 5 girls are sexually abused before adulthood. They say that 80% of these are by a close family member or friend. They say these things, but the words, they hold no weight, because these numbers cannot encompass all the facts, that we are people, that it hurts, and all we have become now is a statistic. The statistics can't tell you how it haunts you, playing back in your head like a broken record when you can't sleep and you just wish you could turn it off. The statistics can't tell you how it haunts your every step, the words he said echoing in your head as you stare down the halls and wonder how many around you have suffered the same. The statistics can't tell you about the interest you take when the subject comes up in a class or discussion, but not too much, for you don't dare give it away. The statistics can't tell you how just because it happened once and not a million times, it still hurts. The statistics can't tell you how it terrifies you to think about the fact that it wasn't that bad, how as a child you don't have the capacity to understand that these hands on my skin aren't supposed to feel good. They can't tell you how that fact didn't make it any less terrifying. The statistics can't tell you any of these things. A statistic can't convey a memory or a moment. All a statistic can convey is a cold, hard number.
All right, this is titled WebMD. According to WebMD, it takes the human body 27 days to completely regrow a brand new set of skin. So can someone tell me why it's been 153 days since he left, yet I still feel his fingertips tracing tiny circles on my body, why the beat of his heart still echoes in my ears? Can someone tell me why I replaced my skin 5 times, but when it's dark I feel his arms around me? Why late at night I can't sleep because I feel his hand resting in mine even when I don't want it there anymore? Maybe it's that I loved him so much it's not enough to have skin he's never touched. Maybe the memories of him slip through my skin and seep deep down into my bones, filling the gaps between the cartilage and calcifying there. According to WebMD, it takes 10 years to grow a brand new set of bones. So when 3,497 days have passed, when my skin has grown and regrown 129 times, can someone tell me if my body will no longer remember his? Or will they tell me that my luck has run out, that my memories did not live in my skin or my bones, but rather in my heart? So I did some research, and according to WebMD, we only get one of those. And that's what I was so afraid of.
see the pedestrian in the crosswalk, to the people so far in the fringes of politics that you can't see the other side due to the curve of the earth, to everyone who didn't open the hood of their car when it was smoking because they were sure they wouldn't understand, this is to you. You were given 5 senses with which to understand your world, and while licking the street and sniffing the stop signs won't help you get home, your eyes and ears are useful tools in letting you know which ways to go. So when you tell me you understand the world and you know what's coming next, I want to know how you can say that with your eyes closed. The waves that crash around your ankles cannot be the only way you feel water. There are waves that crash all over the world. Some are blue, some are black, some are salty, some are silent, and yours are just yours. While the cuts on your toes might sting in your waves, they might not over there, but how could you know if you don't go feel? Walking through a city is like skipping through a kaleidoscope, every lens a different color, overlapping, undercutting, and exploding into each other like fireworks. If you let it wrap around you, you'll see fireworks every day, not just when a ball goes over a fence or a country has a birthday. But so many people grab one pane of glass and they hold it to their eyes so close that it nearly cuts with every bumpy step. But the fear of blood is less than of difference, so they wrap their hands around the sharp glass edges and yell at the first person they see when they trip. They say that this red is your fault, that it wasn't like this before they saw you. All we can do is hold those hands, the ones over eyes, the ones we may not want to hold, and tell them it's a softer view than they know. That the light will not hurt for long, that the cold will bring tears, but those tears will clean the old blood away from where their lenses used to be and where your hands are now.
All right, so real quick before I start my piece, for those of you that want to actively participate in this, I'm going to have you close your eyes. And don't open them until I tell you to. And then while I have your eyes closed, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I need everyone to respond. Does that make sense? Then close your eyes until I...
So like when we respond, do you want to like say something? Or
Yeah, just answer the question.
Okay.
And it's not a trick question. All right. This is not an exercise in guided meditation. This is not a clever pickpocketing ploy, though the thought crossed my mind. This is a public service announcement. In Mesa County, the suicide rate hovers around 5 per 25,000, double the national average. This figure does not include the 9 attempts for every one success. On this day, 3 months ago, Carlos Lopez Martinez hung himself in the Mesa County Detention Facility. And despite excessive surveillance and security personnel, and despite suicide being our county public health department's #1 priority, nobody seems to have seen anything. A question for the audience, and this is not a trick question. Can I see you? You see, had I asked a child this question, that child would have likely responded with an emphatic no. This same child would have paradoxically insisted that they were not invisible, because children often believe that to be seen requires mutual eye connection, to peer beyond the window panes of another person's soul, that the self is intrinsically separate from the body that contains it, that peekaboo and the eyes on the back of their mother's heads are the greatest unsolved mysteries. You see, when this poem is over, you will turn to your neighbor and ask how it made them feel, not how it made their body feel. And if you can understand such a distinction, well, then stop pretending that public health crises are synonymous with unsightly symptoms. Stop pretending that shaving your head is solidarity, because depression metastasizes across serotonin neurotransmitters, and nobody is going to commend you for walking around a joyless zombie. Stop pretending that suicide is selfish when it is the final stage of a chronic condition that has led to this moment of stupefied disbelief. Stop pretending that the boy who blew his brains out across the school parking lot was always a bright-eyed beacon of joy and wonder, and open your eyes. Depression is not sadness. It is not always tears of grief, but tears of joy. Depression is not introversion, but a solitary game of hide and seek. Depression is not an attitude. It is a crap motivational poster nailed to the conference room wall. Depression is a multimillionaire tycoon publishing how to make it work sensations, wondering how in the hell he's going to make it work. Depression is the girl in pastel yellow infecting everyone at the bar with her weightless dancing. Depression is the guy slamming poetry because healthcare is a luxury, not a right. Depression looks a hell of a lot like me, and this does not look like the county I love to call home.
I wasn't really planning on doing this one, but my mom came out, so I'm gonna do it. Growing up, I was mom's boy number 2. Didn't really have a choice though. Pops died when I was younger. So that left me with my immediate family, my mom, my 2 older sisters, my nana, and my grands. That's right, I was the baby boy of an all-girl clan. So it's easy to understand that I was a lady killer from the jump. I mean, I knew y'all's secrets, sensitivities, and funks. And if it's that time of the month, I got you, boo. I don't mind buying you tampons, watching your favorite movies, and rubbing your feet down and eat your comfort foods. But I was raised in a way that some dudes weren't. I respect my old dirt. There's a reason why we call Earth the great mother, the giver of all birth. So, it hurts when I see you struggle and injured because of your gender. I see fire inside of women, and the hearts of men is barely embers. I'm ashamed to be a dude when society justifies the harm of my sisters. Boys will be boys? Ha! Let me catch you being a boy, mister. And this same toxic patriarchy tells me that it's not okay to cry, that bottling up my emotions is the manly way of life. That if I show a crack in my armor or I let down my guard, they'll take away my man card. Take my man card, because I'm a man regardless, in every sense of the word, and I don't require your validation. I stand up for what I believe in. I work a steady vocation. I provide for me and mine, and I will fight with my dying breath to protect the ones that I love and to defend the unjustly oppressed. So step, boy, I triple dog dare you. Just remember, in the end we're all equal, and this is the face of a human being who shows no mercy to a boy who treats women like they aren't.